Hello, I'm JForceG, and I'm going to teach you how to use logic nodes in Upbge. If you're not too familiar with Upbge, this should be pretty good, but if you are familiar with Blender, should be extra good for you. If you aren't familiar with Blender, I strongly recommend getting a little bit familiar, like understanding how to move things, how to, the navigation, all that jazz. But today we're just going to be setting up. So let's get started. First things first, we're going to delete the default camera. Keep the default cube though. We're going to enable snapping here. And we're going to bring our cube up 2 on the z-axis and the scale up to 2. Another thing we're going to do, and this is more optional, but I do think it's good for editing reasons. We're going to add a wireframe modifier to our default cube player. Okay, and we're going to change the thickness to, I don't know, 10, 0.10. There we go. It's a little thick, kind of a thick boy, but that's okay. We are going to go into the Materials tab, change the color to green, and we're going to go into the shading viewpoint so we can see it. Yeah. Another thing we're going to do is add a plane, set its scale to 20 on the X and Y axis coordinates or whatever, words and stuff. And we're almost done, but one thing we have to do is click on our cube and go into the physics property here, change it to camera, or not camera, character, and enable the collision bounds. Now we're going to want to go to our front view by pressing 1 on our numpad, Shift A, add camera, and we're going to bring it up. The reason why we're going to our front view to do this is because wherever we spawn in, the camera is relative to the viewpoint. So if I were to spawn in one here, it would look in that direction, etc. Okay, so now we're going to want to click and hold Shift and click on our player, Control P, parent, and we're almost done. One more step to get started. Bring this guy up and change it to the logic node editor. If you don't have the logic node editor, go into your preferences, go to add-ons, look up logic node, and just click it right there. And there we go. We've set up. Good job. From here, we are gonna do amazing science stuff. We're gonna do all sorts of tests and things like that. A lot of this is just gonna be me showing you guys what I've come up with, how I've got things to work so far. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Bye. Movement. Movement is very easy to do because there is a lovely Majibby Mobobber in the dashboard all the way at the bottom called Node Prefabs. There's only one available, and that is 4-key movement. Now, make sure you press New first to, add a new node, add a new node tree. Jeebus. Okay, we're gonna click on our default cube player and apply to selected. Now we're gonna go all the way to the bottom and press 4-key movement. There we go. Haha. We are almost done, but wait. If we go into our first person mode, everything up is down and left is right, and everything's all wonky. Everything's up is in, left is out. I don't know what's going on. So to fix that, we are going to invert. We're going to add the A or D, and we're going to put it right here, and W or S, put this right here, and Now we should be moving up and down at least, right? You know, appropriately. Yeah, we'd be doing that, but left and right is still inverted. So for the W and S, we're going to add a invert node. Go. There we go. And, oh, sorry. I meant, A and D. Silly me. I'm a big stupid. And now we got, character movement. But what about rotation? Rotation is pretty simple. This is one thing that I've had trouble finding online, but I'm going to teach you right now. We are going to select these and press Ctrl J. Don't worry, I'll remind you because I think it's important to keep things organized. And we're going to name it Movement. There we go. There we go. And okay, so for mouse looking, because it's first person, we're going to add a, I'm going to go inputs, oh, Shift A inputs, mouse, moved, add another one, inputs, mouse, look, connect these boys up, and main object, make that the cube, or player, whatever you named it, and make the head the camera. We're gonna go into our view here, our player view, and one thing I'm gonna do, you don't have to do this, but I prefer to do this so I could see more. I'm gonna change the focal length of the camera to 15. Cool, except it's not working, and the reason why it's not working is because we gotta make it each frame. There we go. The only issue is up is down, and down is up, so we're gonna press invert on the Y. Great, now up is the appropriate thing, and down is the appropriate thing. The only issue is we can do flips. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we could do flips. How we fix this is we cap up and down. We're going to change this to 1, and we're going to change this to 179, I believe. Yes, there we go. And that is how we do movement with logic nodes. It's very simple. Control J to group this mofo. Gonna name it Looky Here. Oh no, it's not. I'm trying to be cringe. Looky Here, sir. That's what we're naming it. Looky here, sir. Alright, so thank you for watching this part of the tutorial, and I hope you learned a thing or two. Jumping, honestly, this is more of a joke, because it's so easy. It's literally just Control A, inputs, keyboard, key down. We're going to want to choose key down instead of key up, because if you do key up, there's a bit of a delay, because it only detects the jump when the key is up, right? But make sure it's set to key tap. So we're going to press space there, and we're going to add, we're just going to look up jump. We're going to search jump. See, look how amazing that is. Look how great. We can jump now, boys and girls and peoples. We can jump. We're jumping. That would have been the end, except I Control J to group things, because it's good to keep things organized. It's good things. I'm going to call it Super Mario Superstar. Super Mario Superstar. Crouching. Crouching is one that was a bit of a pain in the butt for me, but I got it working. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna key down and key up. Alright, and we're going to set these to control, and, alright, down a bit. Alright, and we are looking for set scale. And this one here, set position, rotation, and scale, etc. And we are going to set the scale here. This also works with animation. Like, if you just want to animate this, you can, but using shape keys sucks because it doesn't update the collision bounds of your cube. Alright, so we're going to choose the object, cube, and we're going to set it to... First, we're going to make it so it doesn't change the Y and X axis, but we're going to change it to 1 here. And we're going to see if this works. And it works, great. But you can see we are suspended. We are suspended in the air until we move. To fix that, we have to simulate some sort of movement. And to do that, we will, you know, when the key is down, when it's tapped, we are going to walk. It's not really walking, it's more just changing the vector direction, sort of. So we're going to add 0.33 cube, and this should do the trick. There we go. We have crouching. We can do the opposite now. When the thing is released, we can change change the, oh, not walk, sorry. Change the scale to 2, and oh, right, once. There we go. So now if we go into first person, zoom in here, we can do this. This is more of a personal thing I'm going to add. I'm going to go into the Shadings tab, make sure the plane is selected, and add Control A to add an image texture, just so we could see a little better the progress that we've made. We are going to add a new Upbge, and we're going to set it to grid, color grid. There we go. Plug it in, and there we go. For Upbge, you have to save it, your stuff, otherwise it will just randomly disappear sometimes. So we're gonna do that. Change it to grid boy. Okay. Let's see here. Let's actually test this out a bit. Yeah, it's a little finicky, but like I said, if you wanted a more seamless crouching, you can animate it with the scale, but don't use shape keys. If you animated it with using changing the scale, that will work fine. It might take some finicking around, but you can do that. Lastly, let's test out how well our player can fit through a little area here, I guess like a little castle. So one thing you're going to want to do is make sure your player, the collision bound margin is set to 0, so there's no jitteriness. Press play, and there we go. There is a little jitteriness when you try to leave, but that's more of a thing we can probably fix through programming, but I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, check this shiznix out. The first time I tried this, I used shape keys, and I just couldn't fathom why the hell it wasn't working. And yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, so the thing, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Check me out on Twitter, JForceG, upbg_dev, I believe. I do commissions if you want anything done. I make music. The music you hear in the background is mine. I've made it as a commission. And I also make models occasionally for people, depending on what they want done. Also, if you have any questions about Upbge, let me know in the comments. I can probably answer them. I am no means a expert, but I have learned a lot through trial and error. And yeah, I'm going to teach you some more things as well. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Take care. Later.